Good morning, this is Richard's Talk, Irresistible Dick. I'm sort of unboxing today a Korg keyboard that my son got me for my birthday. And it's not a true unboxing because I did have it open for just a little bit and played with it. This is what it looks like. And it runs on a bunch of AA batteries, I want to say 6 or so. Comes with a handy carrying strap. It does not have an AC adapter or a USB cord. Those things are easy enough to get if that's what you're into. So just going to keep it as simple as possible here. I have an amplifier and I'm just basically going to plug this into an amp and show you what it does here. At least a few things I've discovered. Now I have to kind of preface this by saying I'm not a keyboard player. Tried to learn a little bit when I was a kid, but I found it didn't make as much sense as a guitar does. You know, as far as like scales being on a guitar. You know, if you want to change key on a scale, you just move your hand up the neck a little bit. It's about the same pattern. So, but on piano, it's a whole different ballgame, and I never quite warmed up to it. But this is not really a piano. This is a toy which has all kinds of cool things that happens with it. So the main controls on this, basically you got an on-off button on the base of it, and you have a toggle switch here which toggles you through the many different sounds that this thing can make. There's a slider here, long slider, and a short slider on the neck. And this slider on the neck does things similar to a guitar where, you know, if you want to bend a pitch on a particular note, you can do that. I haven't quite figured out all the rest of it yet, but I'm approaching this from like the novice standpoint of somebody who just opened this up and didn't want to read the manual and just wanted to dive in and see what it does. So when I power this up, goes through a brief startup sequence, and then it puts you on the first voice, 001. It's upside down so that you can read it while you're holding it. Now one little knock on this that I noticed, that you know, it has little strap holders for a guitar strap so you could like stand and play this. But what I found was that your wrist would be kind of in an awkward position. It would be, you know, ideally I think to tip the keyboard a little bit, give it a little bit of an angle would make it a little bit easier to play. But that's a minor knock. So this is okay, like, you know, if you set up on a keyboard stand, or maybe a little easier to work with. You'll notice as soon as you turn it on that there's this little flashy light here. It's marked tap, and it's a metronome, and this will trigger depending on what voice you're using. There are some tempos that are involved with the sounds that this keyboard makes, and you can adjust those tempos up and down if you like. So it's pretty intuitive in my opinion. It's working pretty well. So just out of the box here, give it a little more volume. Oh yeah, and a little volume knob on the base here by the cord where you plug it in. Okay, so works pretty straightforward as a keyboard. What you'll notice also is that you got these keys that are marked A through H. Those are like preset keys on your car radio, so that if you find a particular voice that you like and you want to be able to access it quickly, you'll just hit that button. What you also notice is that depending on how hard you strike the keys, it's going to make more of the lights light up. You know, that's just for a blinky effect and to make it look cool, but it does also tell me that the keys are pressure sensitive, and so the harder you strike the keys, then in some of the voices, the more noise it's going to make. So we went through this. So if I hold this note, then you hear that little warbly sound that on the short thing, and that's kind of the kind of effect, depending on which voicing you're in. That's kind of a subtle effect for this first one, but and then I'll hold down a key here, and so we'll notice that this large slider here will do an arpeggio based on whatever key that you strike. So you don't have to really know your scales at all. You just it's pretty cool. Requires two hands to do it, and so I haven't quite tried that with the strap on to see if, you know, exactly how I can get both hands to up here to work, or maybe you can. If you're kind of dexterous, you can just do it with one hand. I don't know. That's kind of what we're at. One thing I did notice when I unboxed this the first time was that I was kind of expecting it to have a piano sound, but it doesn't. And that doesn't mean that there isn't any piano sound available. I think when you hook this up with the USB cord and you do go through something like GarageBand, you could give it any voice you want to, and it'll come out the computer doing whatever you want it to do. But for this case, now it remains to be seen whether you can take that whatever voice you can get on your computer and then stuff it back into the machine and carry it along with you when you go and play out in public. So many different sounds. Not always an arpeggio. So that's kind of all there is to it, and it's an awesome gift, and I look forward to like messing around with it and seeing exactly, maybe the next video I'll kind of go into some brainstorming about what sounds could be useful to me in creating some songs. So, but for this one, I'm just kind of giving you a brief overview of this, and that's real simple. I'm sure this does more tricks, and I didn't dive too deeply into the manual, and the manual is not very long, and that came with it, but perhaps one online is a little longer. Of course, you know, most people look up YouTube videos and see exactly how to make something work. But I think that as far as I like this little notchy thing here, which kind of fits nicely onto a leg, keeps it in a nice position. You can like slouch and bring it back a little bit further. It's a cool thing. I like it. So I'm glad you enjoyed this video, and see ya. Bye.